Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United have lost 1-0 to West Bromwich Albion and handed Manchester City the title. Absolutely unbelievable. I can't actually put my hat on that because I did say after the Manchester City result, it was 45 minutes. We could have lost that game in the first half. We did really well in the second half. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not become Arsenal because you can become deluded. You can think you've turned a corner because Manchester is red. We've got to see what we do against Spurs in the FA Cup and whether we approach that in the same way. I never in a million years expected us to approach the West Brom game in that way and come out of it losing it 1-0. Unbelievable that a team. I mean, West Brom were fighting for their lives. Of course they were. But what were we fighting for? And I tell you what, I'm just going to start off with two things. One, I know the press are going to jump over the fact that Paul Pogba was substituted. That for me is a non-issue. I thought he was rubbish. Two, if anybody wants to take a pot, Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford, Alexis Sanchez, Juan Mata, Anthony Martial, or to a certain extent Romelu Lukaku, sit down. How can you have a go at any of those players when we've got all six on the pitch and actually you shouldn't have all six on the pitch. You should never have all six of them on the pitch. It was just ridiculous to do that. We should only ever have three of them on the pitch, not six of them. So why was that? What was he doing? Why did he take off Herrera at half time? Why did he take off I don't know what we were doing for the last 20 minutes. I mean, Martial comes on for Pogba and you think, well, who's going to play in the midfield now? Because he takes Herrera off, we lose a midfielder. He takes Pogba off, we lose both our box-to-box midfielders. We're basically playing one midfielder and six attackers. And then, on top of that, none of them are actually good in the air, so we start putting long balls into the box. The tactics in that second half make Jose Mourinho mugged off in front of the whole world. He got that totally and utterly wrong. The first half, I can defend it because I think West Brom were fighting for their lives. We should have had a penalty. We had as many chances as them. It wasn't as good as I would like it to be. But other than that, I just don't understand what the second half was all about. What was it about? I can't find fault. I actually thought Martial played really well. He was trying to play a forward pass. He missed a half decent chance, as did Lingard when he first came on. Rashford did nothing because there was no... What was Rashford supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go as an attacker when you've got six vying for three positions? It was just a mess. There was no fluidity. There was no build-up play. You can't just put six attackers on and then have four players behind them, one a midfielder and a back three, and then six players are getting in everybody's way and there's no build-up play. It was illogical. It made absolutely no sense. Broski, Jose who just wants to come from behind and win. That's his philosophy of entertaining. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. But on Paul Pogba, I think it's the one thing Jose Mourinho got right in the second half. That was an atrocious performance from Pogba. 45 minutes in the first half against Man City. He gets two really good goals because he makes runs beyond the back. Against West, if you can turn up against the league champions, you can turn up against West Bromwich Albion at home. And to top it all off, we thought we'd rescued an embarrassment of handing Man City the title at the Etihad. We stopped that and then we handed them at home to West Brom. I mean, absolutely brilliant. We are being laughed at from John O'Groats to Land's End today. Every club in England is laughing at us because we've just put in a performance like that against the team that's 10 points adrift at the bottom and has got a caretaker manager who did a very, very good job on Jose today. But Darren Moore is an ex-footballer who basically was just a hard man at the back. Not known for his tactical nous, outdoing Mr. Tactics Mourinho. That at the end was a joke. That was a joke. What we did the last 20 minutes, tactically, was a mess. The tactics analysis show tomorrow is going to be an absolute joy, I tell you, because it was a mess. And I really do not understand what we were doing. And of course, Liverpool fans and Man City fans will be laughing at us. I always say, don't care. Do not care, because Manchester United fans will be going mad within our own community. We don't need to listen to be laughed at by other clubs. We'll be bloody moaning ourselves. Just absolutely stunned. Vinny Aguda says players at fault. How are the players at fault? How are the players at fault in that second half when it's a mess? Six attackers vying for three positions, no midfield. How are you supposed to get them decent ball? All West Brom did is, when we went six attackers, sit back, Try and pass your way through us now, because we haven't got to come out. We haven't got to do anything. All you can do is put long balls into the box, and you haven't got anybody you can put a cross in for a start, and then most of your attackers are tiny. We're just going to dominate you. As for the goal, if a game stays 0-0 long enough, you're going to get an opportunity to score a goal, aren't you? Matic, weak, Lukaku. For how many times this season has Lukaku not tracked his man in our box? 2 times at Old Trafford, he gave 2 goals away. Today, not tracking his man. It's a soft goal to give, but at the end of the day, West Brom were going to go for it anyway. West Brom were going to go for it because they needed to win it. The fact that we can't win a game like that at home is a joke. And you know what? I would reluctantly back every single attacker on that pitch, because we should be able to create a chance. But when it's such chaotic mess, how? I mean, Marcus Rashford came on and did nothing. Are people going to say Rashford's crap and we should sell him? No, don't say that. How many chances did Marcus Rashford have? What was Marcus Rashford's position apart from running around like a headless chicken, like every other attacker we had out there, because there was no system to what we were trying to do? In the first half, I thought Alexis Sanchez was man of the half. In the second half, I didn't even know he was playing. Mata, no width in the first half, way too central. Pogba's wandering out to the left wing. Sanchez and Mata are both vying to play number 10. Herrera was played very well but got subbed at half time. Matic is just too slow at moving the ball from the back to the front. Why we kept him on and took Pogba and Herrera off? Because Matic moves the ball too slow from back to front. It was just weird. It was Mourinho. I agree with Gunkshy. I back Mourinho, but that performance in the second half came from chaotic tactics that make zero sense. And I worry about what we're doing now, because we had the international break and we had some momentum from the international break, and we took the nightmare of Sevilla. I'm going to play more progressive attacking football, but the ball yet again was not moving quickly enough from back to front. It was too slow and static again. He looks like a man defeated, though. Let's be honest. Mourinho looks like a man defeated. He comes out with these lines about they back me, the club are with me, but he's subbing off his best player, Paul Pogba, after 60 minutes again. Paul Pogba's putting in a lethargic, uninterested performance again. A few days after his best performance in a long time against Man City, he comes home to West Brom and doesn't put in a performance. It was weird. It was really, really weird. The Storm says Sevilla vibes again. I'm going to whack Shane on. I know, Shane, you're a big fan of Mourinho like me. Give us your thoughts.
How you doing, Mark? You alright?
Not really.
I know you're not alright, but I'm just calling regarding. I remember a few years ago, John Terry saying at Chelsea they don't work on attacking and training, and it looks that way. That there's no chemistry, like whatsoever. Like all we do is run, and this individual. We use individuals to win matches.
That was just all I can say is that, I've seen some people having a pap at Mata, Sanchez, Lingard, Martial, but that second half, if you've ever played football or you actually watched that game, how can you have a go at the attackers when it was just a mess? There was no tactics. That Mourinho may as well have just gone home for the second half and said, "I'm throwing all you attackers on and hopefully you score a goal," because there was no system, there was no logic to what we do. It was literally chuck all my attackers on and hope.
And hope. That's all we do, Mark. You was been saying it for weeks that we use attacking individuals to win matches. Like Lingard will make something out of nothing, or Martial will make something out of nothing. We don't create chances because there's no system, there's no chemistry. I'm not really worried about our attack. Even if we buy Bale, Dybala, what is the point, Mark? Like, what's the point of buying all these attackers? And we're still gonna have Matic. You made some brilliant point. Cause I've been watching the United stand for years, innit? And you made some brilliant point last summer about Matic. It's come through to fruition. He moves the ball so smart. How can you be a defensive midfielder and take 4, 5, 8 touches every time you get the ball? He never just gets the ball and keep it moving. We've been sport to have character for 10 plus years, so I know what our DM is supposed to do. The guy never just whips the ball on the floor with pace. The ball's moving the floor slow. He takes 8 touches every time he gets the ball. He wants to dribble. I don't get the Matic thing. And you keep him on and Seba Herrera.
I was about to say that. I would have took Matic off and put Herrera on because left Herrera on because Herrera could have run that midfield today, and he's got the pace and the speed of ball movement to do it. Matic staying on was the same as why we keep Lukaku on. He refuses to sub Matic and Lukaku, so that forces him to take players off that probably should stay on, and it forces him to, because he won't take Lukaku off, but he wants to get Rashford and Martial on. It means we have a chaotic overload of attackers because he won't take certain people off.
Yeah, and he needs to get over this untouchable thing. We're not good enough to have untouchables. Like, he needs to really get over this. This is not Chelsea 10 years ago where you had the 4 or 5 untouchables, the Ashley Cole, the Drogba and Lampson. This is a new club, Man United, where we're trying to build something again. And last year it was Ibra. This year's Lukaku and Matic. He really needs to get over it because at the end of the day, it's what's best for the team. And Mark, I fully agree with every point you made. We look like some headless chicken just running and just put attackers on and hope Rashford does something out of nothing, Martial does something out of nothing. And I'm really, really worried about our attack. Like, really worried. Like, Jose look like he doesn't have a clue how to just build an attack. I don't know what is going on. I don't understand.
Does look a mess. Shane, thanks for being our first caller. I'm going to try and get as many as possible, but thanks for calling in, pal. And maybe you can call in tomorrow night on the Monday show.
I will, Mark.
Cheers, pal.
Not man.
I just also want to say as well, thank you to West Bromwich Albion, because they actually saved us from not knowing the truth. Because if they turned up today and just been the bend over, poor bottom of the league side that they've been all season, and they hadn't come and actually fought for it, we might have won that 3 or 4-0 and carried on being deluded. I'm really grateful that West Brom came, had some commitment, ran through brick walls for themselves, and had a right go at us, because it exposed us for what we are. When the going gets tough, we bottle it. And we did bottle that today at home, against not to score a goal as well, and to hand the title to City. It demeans, I think Matthew McFadden said it on the watch-along, it totally demeans and disappears what we did against Man City last week. Yeah, we might have stopped them winning the title at their place, but we'll just wait a week and embarrass ourselves against West Brom and give them the title themselves. It was really, really, really just deflating, isn't it? Deflating stuff. And we've got that game now against Bournemouth midweek, and then I think that Spurs game next weekend becomes massive. Tyrone, can you hear me? Hello?
How you doing, Mark? You right?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I'd say I'm quite stunned. I tried to defend it at half time because I thought, West Brom are having a proper go. I can't defend the second half. I've never seen such chaos. I can't believe we had 6 attackers on, and God, I felt sorry for every single one of them, because how can you shine as an attacker when everyone else is getting in everyone else's way?
Exactly, it's true what you said. I think Mourinho is starting to look like he doesn't know what he's doing at the moment, to be honest.
I mean, how are you feeling about that? I mean, I don't know where you stand on United's season and Mourinho, and obviously I felt that there was a deflated feeling amongst the United fans all week, even though we'd beaten Man City, and we've been proved right. Those people who felt like that, it almost felt like that Man City result was a bit of a flash in the pan, and it's been proved to be that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if Jose Mourinho is the right man to take us forward. I mean, if he stays and Martial ends up leaving, I'm going to want him out anyway. So I'd just rather he left and Martial stayed, and we had a manager who could help these young players flourish. Because all Mourinho does... Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I was going to come back to that. I mean, I was just going to ask about Mourinho, Martial, because I'm a big fan of Martial. I was happy when he came on. I didn't disagree with Pogba being taken off. I was a bit concerned that Pogba was coming off and we were leaving ourselves with just Matic to dictate the play, because he's so slow at doing that. But I actually thought, all right, Martial had a half a chance. He probably should have done better. Lingard had a couple of chances. He should have done better. But actually, every time that Martial got the ball, what I liked about it is he was looking to play a forward pass. He looked confident on the ball. He didn't go hiding. I think he had more of the ball than any of our attackers in the second half. And most of the time, he found a United player and he was attempting to do things. So I actually think Martial came out of that half with his head held high. I thought Sanchez was brilliant in the first half. He disappeared in the second half. Lingard, I just think everyone was getting in everyone's way. And the Rashford substitution, I just don't understand it. You may as well have brought McTominay on. because we had no midfielders and too many attackers.
With Man United, what I want to see Rashford in a number 9 position or Martial in a number 9 position.
And he just won't take Lukaku off, though, will he?
Exactly, he won't take Lukaku off. And I think what we miss on the left is like a natural left footer. Why not bring Chong in? Why not just give him a go and just see what he can do? But he won't do it because he's not forward thinking enough, Mark. Do you know what I mean? That's the one. When I'm looking at Man United, it's so boring. I'm not even. I had to switch it off at half time and not watch the second half because it was so boring. You know, I just wasn't excited watching it. Couldn't be bothered to watch it, Mark. Honestly.
What are your thoughts? I mean, a lot of people will react to this in different ways, but I'm more thinking about that Spurs game next week. I mean, if we don't win that, I think there's a problem. If we go out next week, that is a problem. And let's not forget, I mean, I've just totally forgotten. I mean, that's... let me just have a look at the league. I mean, we're all assuming that we're going to finish second place, but actually, not only have we handed Manchester City the title, but we've put ourselves in a bit of a battle for that second place spot now. We've still got a game in hand against Bournemouth, but we're only a point ahead of Liverpool. So, you know, in a couple of weeks' time, we could be down to 4th and out and not winning a cup.
I agree. I mean, the Spurs game is very important. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself, if we beat Spurs and we get to the final and win it, it's going to be another year with Mourinho. If Pochettino comes out on top and beats us, then maybe Mourinho can go. And I shouldn't be saying that about a Man United manager, but I just don't feel enthusiastic with him in charge. I mean, how much money is he going to spend? You know, we're worried about the Manchester United attack, but he spent so much money, and he still can't get it right.
Right. Thanks for calling in, Tyron. Anyway, good to hear from you, and please do call in again, pal. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye.
I know people won't feel like it, but please do drop a like on the video for all our callers that are calling in. I think there's just a sense of... I mean, I can see Jose out in the live comments. Tactics wrong, says Mindstorm. Should have got a penalty. Natung, that was a long time ago, of course. People who dislike Martial don't know Manchester United's history, says Safe. I've seen a few people saying Martial was rubbish. I don't know what match you were watching. I really do think, actually, you can't say any of the attackers in the second half had a bad game because they've got a get-out-of-free jail card anyway. And I actually thought Martial played well, but I thought... They've all got a get out of jail card because it was chaotic. You can't moan at players when everyone's getting in each other's way and there's no fluidity and you've got 6 attackers playing in three positions. It was a mess, absolutely a mess. So I can't see how people are having a go at individual players when it was clearly, you know, it clearly came from the manager in the second half and I'm Mourinho in. Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Mark, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. What do you want to talk about, pal?
I mean, I'm a bit confused how we go from beating Man City 3-2 to losing to the bottom of the club. We beat champions-elect one week and lose to bottom of the elect champions team one week. How that is so United, Mark. I mean, taking off Pogba, taking off her, I just don't understand. Is this Mourinho trying to prove a point to people saying we need Philip? I just don't understand the tactics. I don't understand. I'm confused.
What did you think about the Pogba substitution? What do you agree with it? Disagree with it? Some people weren't happy with the Herrera one.
I mean, yeah, Pogba wasn't playing well, but Pogba is one of our best players. Why take off our best? Why didn't you take off Sanchez? Why does Matic play 24/7, 365 days a year, Mark? Tell me why Matic plays every single day. Take off Matic. This wasn't a game for... I just don't understand, Mark. There's a problem here. There's a problem. I mean, it's all good beating. Everyone's excited. Beating Man City one week. But to lose to West Brom, it's embarrassing.
I mean, Breach 69 says we were fortunate to beat City. We were in the first half. But actually, I just thinking about what you're saying, how do you go from one extreme to the other? I think we beat Man City in the second half because we fought them. And I think West Brom beat us because they fought us. So we've been the victims of our own medicine, really. You know, we fight back against Man City as the underdog at half-time from 2-0 down, and we get a victory. And then within a week, our very next game, we don't fight, and we get beaten by a team who wants it more. It's but this, I've said this so many times, and I actually said it in the preview. Let's not get overexcited about the derby until we've had a few more results like that, because we could be like Arsenal, where you're singing from the rooftops after one result, and then the next week you're looking an idiot because you've made yourself look, you think you're better than you are. And we are, unfortunately, Mourinho's Mourinho's time at Manchester United is 100% progression. We have progressed from Van Gaal.
Of course,
but it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Of course. I mean, it's pointless. Us beating Man City was pointless because obviously we're all happy for the Sunday, the Monday. That means now it's absolutely pointless. It's absolutely. I would have rather lost to Man City then. It's absolutely pointless. Losing at West Brom at home, 1-0. Who does that, Mark? I mean, forget all of this 4-0 FC. At least put a performance. They were all flat. I mean, I have no problems with the team today, but the team was just flat. No one was bad. I feel matter. I mean, no one was bad. I mean, I heard your preview watching the game. I mean, no one deserved a bad comment, but Matter gave the ball away a few too many times to me. Why did Matter come off? It was a game for Matter, that intricate passing, but Matter was poor today. It wasn't bad.
Well, we never seen Matter play 90 minutes ever, do we? And the one game where he actually didn't play well, he plays 90 minutes.
I mean, it was straight. I mean, sometimes, Mark, I look at Mourinho, I think, what is his game? He doesn't seem happy. I've said it to you before. Mourinho doesn't seem happy. Was it just me who says that?
No,
Mourinho
right.
just all the time, you're at the biggest club in the world, Mourinho. Smile a bit. Smile. Like, he doesn't seem happy. All of this sulking nonsense. If you don't want to be him, Mourinho, get out of the club. Get out of the club. I mean, I just hope, Mark, at least Wednesday, put on a performance. Semi-final, I'm going to be there, put on a performance. But it was too lackluster. It was disappointing. I just hope we can bounce back on Wednesday and, I mean, get into the final. That still be a poor season, but let's get into the final, win that. But it wasn't good enough, Mark. It wasn't good enough. It's just really frustrating.
Well, thanks for calling, Ben. Really appreciate it.
No problem, Mark. Take
Cheers,
care.
pal.
You too. Cheers, bye.
It is. You know what? And also, what's his team for Bournemouth? Because I think that the team he selects today isn't far off his best team. Mourinho's talking now, everybody. This is interesting. I'll quote you with what he's saying. So, a frustrating day, Jose. How do you assess it? And he is saying, I think that we were deservedly punished because we were masters of complication. Everything was complicated. Yeah, you did that. Players, they did not. He's saying that the players did not want, or they could not play simple. Everything was slow. Everything was one more touch. I mean, everything was one more touch. This is it. This is it. We know this. So how is our manager saying this every week? Everything's slow. We did not deserve to lose, but we gave them the opportunity to win the match by being solid in defence and smelling a chance in a set play, which they did. I mean, he's not wrong there. West Brom did stay back strong at the back, and they're always a threat from set plays. But I mean, it's very interesting what he says there. I'll come back to that in a minute and see what else he says. I have lots of experience, he says. Old Jose, and that is not me, because I think he's talking about the derby last week. He's talking about I've won 8 titles. Oh, God. 11 titles. But I'm not over the moon because I won Manchester City because it's only 3 points. Well, that's fair enough, actually. I saw a lot of people who were over the moon because we won against Man City. Like, winning against Man City was the most important thing ever of season. I want to just be happy with one big victory, and I was trying to fight. Maybe that's a direct bit. Maybe that's a direct dig at Paul Pogba. I don't know. Yeah, you can see the difference in the attitudes of some players compared with the other weeks. Relaxed, stylish, one more touch, one. He's having a go at Pogba. One more flick. Masters of complication, complicating our football since the beginning. We gave West Brom Albion the chance to feel quiet, comfortable defensively. Then Paul Tierney was unlucky in one decision. The challenge on Herrera, yeah, okay. So Mourinho, very, very damning, actually, in relation to his players, saying that they're taking... obviously he knows it was a penalty as well. I think we deserve to be finished. I think it's too heavy, but not to win this match. I think we deserve the punishment for sure. So, I mean, basically he's just saying that we didn't move the ball quick enough. Everyone was taking too many touches. So it's abdicating himself of blame. Having said that, I still think the second half is... It's just down to the second half's down to him, and we can say about all the too many touches and everything, but the second half was chaotic. You can't have 6 attackers on in 3 positions and then have no midfield to supply them. It was a mess. And he's just congratulating City now. Are you going to try and change things and liven up the team? And he's saying I had to bring on more of a touch of the ball, searching for spaces. So he brought Martial on, had to make a decision of a midfield player out to play Jesse Lingard. So Herrera came on for him. And then after that, I want to give more width, and Paul had a yellow card. Yeah, so somebody said that in the watch along actually. So he took Pogba off because of that yellow card, is what he's saying. But he's just throwing Pogba under the bus there. He just said, one more touch, too complicated. Interesting. Very, very interesting in relation to what Jose Mourinho has said there. Look, bottom line is, it's Mourinho has basically said that it's too many touches, too complicated, not moving the ball quick enough, which is interesting because we all know that. That's what we would say as fans. But he's said that a couple of times now as the manager. And why is that? You know, he's the manager, he's the coach, he's in charge of the coaching staff. Why throw it on the players and say, well, they're not moving the ball quick enough, it's not happening quick enough, too many touches, not enough desire? But that, I was sort of picking up on what our last caller said, Ben, about, you know, what do we go for the next game? Because I think the team that he started with hasn't given back the trust that he puts into them. And so has he got to change his team around again now? Does he trust in those players? But the second half doesn't cover what he says about the first half. Okay, the first half we took too many touches and we didn't move the ball around quick enough. That's fair enough, I agree with that. But the second half was chaotic. You've got 6 attackers on, no midfield anymore. What we're trying to do? That's down to Jose. And I wish he'd been asked that question. What was your plan in the second half? Why did you have so many attackers on, getting in each other's way, and then no fluidity or build-up from the midfield? Because you've only got Matic on there, who moves the ball so slowly. I mean, Matic survives, Herrera and Pogba go off, but Matic is the worst of the three for taking an extra touch and passing it backwards. He started doing that in the first 2 minutes of the game. So Matic survives because Mourinho loves him. Pogba and Herrera come off, yet they are the players that will play a forward pass. Matic won't. He's slow. Zotti Moon, Jose's dodging responsibility. Andrew M says Giggs in. Specialist in failure says Bay Paper Blanket. A lot of people saying sack Jose. Jose in says Kennedy Kamal. Why does he love Matic when he talks about not moving the ball? Very good point, my footy friend. He didn't play it forward once. Even he was heading in 6-yard box, he went sideways. And Gareth, I agree with you. I think Mourinho does look a bit defeated. He doesn't look that interested, does he? Which does make things rather interesting. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We've got an 8 o'clock show tonight, which is why we've not been live as long as we normally would be for the call-in. But we're live at 8 o'clock tonight. Got Sophie and Rodney on. Join us for that. And we will have fan cams coming up before then and after then. So get involved. Give us your thoughts. I'm sure we're going to get some interesting fan opinion because Old Trafford emptied very, very quickly. We're back live again at 8 o'clock. Drop a subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Drop us a like on the video and give us your thoughts if you're not watching live. Really interested to see what's going to happen. Join us at 8 o'clock. See what Sophie and Rodney have got to say. We'll be talking more in depth. And watch out for those fan cams. Thanks everyone for watching. Another bad day for United in a very weird season. See you all at 8 o'clock.